Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of this video where we are discussing companies that have posted blockbuster Q4 results. In first part, we discussed companies from electronic sector that include Dixon, Keynes, Avalon, PG Electroplast. Then affordable housing finance included India Shelter, Home First Finance. Tech-based stocks included Ceinsys, MapMyIndia, Zaggle, NetWeb. Then pharma stocks included Army Organics, which is Acuitas now, and then Laurus Lab. Then co-working space included EFC and AWFIS. Value fashion stocks included V2 Retail and VMart. If you haven't watched this first part, please pause this video and watch the first part to get the context right. Let's move on to second part, where the seventh sector that has posted extraordinary number is power sector. Now, power sector in India is literally on steroids. It has been growing at a very fast rate, not just because of the demand, but then because of the shift in power from conventional to your non-conventional, which is the renewable sector. So if you look at companies in this space, Waaree Energy is one company that is growing at a phenomenal rate. Look at the sales, EBITDA, net profit, extraordinary growth. And interestingly, company has given fantastic growth guidance. So if you look at it, for Fy26, management has guided for EBITDA in the range of 5,500 crore to 6,000 crore, which is nearly a 2x growth guidance in EBITDA from Fy25. So we can expect 2 times growth, nearly 100% growth in company's EBITDA in Fy26. Obviously, very interesting. Growth is very fast, and valuations at P of 43 are not that high considering the growth. Having said this, if you are not aware of the business model of Waaree Energy, I would strongly suggest you to watch one of my videos where I've discussed both the pros and cons, both opportunity as well as threat for this business. This is a very important video if you really want to understand the business of Waaree. But yes, the fact is that company is growing at a very fast rate. Second company that has grown fantastically is Genus Power. Look at the sales, EBITDA, net profit, extraordinary numbers. And interestingly, for Fy25, its revenue was 2,400 crore. For Fy26, management is guiding for 4,000 crore of top line. That's nearly 66% growth expected in top line in Fy26. Margin guidance is similar, so it's 18% against Fy25 margin of 19%. So that's similar. Currently, it is trading at a PE of 40.8. So considering the kind of guidance company is given, obviously valuations are looking good, and that's where I think Genus Power can continue to see the upside potential in the near term. I've also discussed the business model of Genus Power in detail. So if you haven't watched this video and want to understand what is the business of Genus, please watch this video. Moving on to the third company from power space that is posting fantastic number is Transformer Rectifier India Limited. And look at the numbers, sales, EBITDA, net profit, fantastic. Now, interestingly, company has given a massive guidance. Look at this. In the long term, they intend to become $1 billion revenue company over the next 3 years. Mind you, in Fy25, company did revenue of 2,017 crore, which means $1 billion revenue is 8,500 crore in next 3 years. Currently, it is 2,000 crore. So you can imagine the kind of growth Transformer Rectifier India management is expecting. And if you look at the past also, in last few years, it is growing at a very fast rate. Again, valuation is P of 73. If company can really achieve these kind of guidance, and even let's say 70-80% of the guidance, I think there is a lot more upside potential in the business. Having said this, make sure that you understand the business, understand the key risk and the growth thesis. Moving on, next company with fantastic number from power sector is TD Power. Like I said, power is one sector that is growing at a very fast rate, and there are a lot of companies with phenomenal number. Look at the sales, EBITDA, net profit, fantastic. And if you look at the guidance, management has given Fy26 revenue guidance of around 1,500 crore. Currently for Fy25, the revenue is 1,279. So around 18-20% top line growth guidance for Fy26. And for Fy27, they are guiding for around 2,000 crore of revenue. So overall, if you look at it, nearly 55 to 60% guidance from Fy25 to Fy27 in next 2 years. Also, management has said that they can see potential positive surprise, right? So if you read the con call, very bullish con call by management. Although after this con call, they reduced some stake. Some of the stake was purchased by Goldman Sachs. Currently, TD Power is trading at a PE of around 44.5. So considering the growth, I think valuations are okay, and from here, it can continue to see upside. Next, we have got results of Shilcha Technology, and look at the sales, EBITDA and net profit. Extraordinary. And if you look at the guidance, for FY26, they are guiding for 750 crore of top line, which is around 20 to 25% growth over previous year. And they are saying that it is a conservative figure. Currently, company is trading at a PE of 46, 47, and of course 20-25% growth for a PE of 46, 47. Again, it's on the higher side slightly, but I think considering the tailwind, Shilcha Tech can also potentially do well. Then another company that is growing at an exponential rate is Oriana Power, and look at the sales, EBITDA, net profit. Interestingly, management is expecting revenue of 2,000 to 2,500 crore and margins will be maintained for FY26. And for FY25, company has done a revenue of 987. So more than 100% growth company is expecting in FY26, currently trading at a PE of 28. That looks quite interesting again. So if company is trading at this kind of valuation and if it is guiding for, I think there can be more upside in FY26 in Oriana Power. Having said this, one point I want to mention is I think one risk is mainly on the receivable side. So these companies are capex heavy business, and also there's a lot of dependency on the power sector, government reform and all of that, right? So they are B2B companies. So you need to be a little bit careful in terms of watching closely the cash conversion cycle of these companies. And I think that is one of the reasons why they do not command a very high PE multiple in spite of these kind of growth. Because like I said, the business model is very capital intensive. Otherwise, growth is looking fantastic in Oriana Power as well. The next company from power sector which has posted fantastic number is GE Vernova T&D, power transmission and distribution sector growing at a very fast rate. Sales, EBITDA, net profit, but then again P is 97. Management has not given any specific guidance on this. Next company is Transcend Lighting. I have recently done a detailed video on Transcend Lighting. Sales, EBITDA, net profit all growing at a fast rate. Revenue guidance for FY26 is 23 to 25%. EBITDA margin guidance is 12 to 25, which is what the FY25 number has been. So overall 23 to 25% revenue guidance and trading at a P of 27, which means I think the valuations are quite decent for Transcend Lighting. This got listed recently 6 months ago. I think there can be a scope for PE re-rating in Transcend Lighting. And next company from power sector is your Techno Electric Engineering. Look at the sales, EBITDA and net profit. Trading at a PE of 45.7, and management is giving a very good guidance. So what they are saying is, so FY25 revenue is 2,269 crore. For FY26, they are guiding for top line of 3,500 crore. That translates to 54% growth in top line. For bottom line, that is revenue, they are saying EPS in FY26 should be no less than 50 rupee, which means minimum company should grow at 37% at net profit level. As far as FY27 is concerned, they are targeting 4,500 crore of revenue, and EPS target is no less than 75 rupee, which means potential net profit growth for FY27 versus FY26 would be 50%. Again, looks like a very fast growing company. Techno Electric Engineering trading at a PE of 45, which is not that high considering the kind of growth company is witnessing. So this is the kind of companies that I've discussed. By the way, all these companies I've already covered in my weekly video series when I discuss the quarterly results, where here I also share my own investment strategy. So if you're a long-term investor and trying to understand the thought process, how do you select a stock, what strategy you should build, you can explore this series. But like I said, strictly only for long-term investor. Moving on to the next sector, that is your recycling sector. And here you have got first company which is Gravita India, posted 20% sales growth, 28% EBITDA and 38% net profit. If you look at the guidance for FY26, management is saying that overall projection is around 25% growth, and it could be 20% or 30% based on the capex, right? But there is one very interesting slide of Gravita, which is Vision 2029, where management is expanding into newer verticals like your lithium, steel and rubber and paper. Then management is eyeing 25% CAGR growth in volume, 35% plus growth in profitability again in CAGR level, 30% plus renewable power usage, 25% ROIC, 50% plus value-added products. I think if management can achieve even 75-80% of the guidance, there is a lot more upside in Gravita India. Currently trading at a PE multiple of 44-45, but kind of growth it is showing, obviously it will command a premium valuation. Moving on, second company from recycling space is Watkab, that has posted very good numbers and trading at a PE of 33-34. I could not find specific guidance, but this is again a very interesting company from water recycling space. By the way, I have already done a detailed video on the recycling sector of India where I have covered every aspect of it. If you haven't watched it, do watch this video. Moving on to some of the miscellaneous numbers, companies from various other sectors. First is Radico Khaitan from Alco beverage sector. Sales, EBITDA, net profit, all fantastic. But again, I have already discussed this entire sector in detail. And if you look at Radico Khaitan, trading at a PE of nearly 100. I mean, this company always command a premium. Couple of reasons. First is, it is a very fast growing company. It's a mid-cap company, 35,000 crore. Also, it's whiskies. Its products are one of the top in the category. So that is again a very important factor. And yes, so basically again, valuation wise, I would say that yes, it is on the higher side. But potential wise, Radico Khaitan has got a lot more potential for growth. And that's where market is paying it a premium. Moving on to the next company, that is your Data Pattern. And look at the sales, 117% growth, EBITDA 61%, net profit 60% growth. Fantastic number. Currently trading at a PE of 77. Market cap is around 17,000 crores, so it's kind of small cap company. If you look at the guidance, they are guiding for 20 to 25% top line growth. Now, if you look at the defense sector as a whole, I think Data Pattern is one of the promising company in the space. But then, of course, valuations are not cheap. They are certainly on the higher side. And guidance is good. So basically, it's a fast growing company in this defense sector. Moving on to the next company, that's your Powermax India. That has posted fantastic number across sales, EBITDA, net profit, trading at a PE of around 45. So again, looking interesting. Then we have got Interglobe Aviation, parent company of Indigo Airlines, where sales, EBITDA, net profit, fantastic numbers, trading at a PE multiple of 29. So valuations are not bad, and I'm saying that this travel and tourism is a multi-year theme, multi-decade theme, and within that, Indigo has got the leadership in aviation sector, and that is the reason growing at a very fast rate. Although recently, its promoters have offloaded some stake, and that has been purchased by the institutional investors. Next company in the list is Powermax project. That is again posted fantastic number across top line and bottom line. And management is confident of achieving 25% year-on-year growth in Fy26. Margins are expected to remain consistent with Fy25 level. So overall, currently trading at a P of 29.4, that looks quite interesting. Valuations are okay and the growth is also fantastic. So again, Powermax is one company that can be is worth looking at. Basically, it is into your infrastructure segment. It is also targeting to secure 10,000 crore of new order by March 26. Then next company is Noama Wealth, where sales, EBITDA, net profit, again very good numbers, trading at a P of around 26.9. So valuations are still not very expensive for Noama, and I have already done a detailed video on India's wealth management sector. Again, a very, very interesting sector. I think this is one space that is going to create a lot of wealth in the coming years. So worth watching this video, and Noama is one of my top conviction bet for the long term. Again, in the short term, there can be volatility because its performance is based on the market performance. So if market falls, investment activity reduces, and obviously its business would be impacted. But long term, it's looking very promising. So more of a SIP kind of stock. Then, so basically this is the list. If I just quickly summarize from power sector, you've got names like Genus Power, Vari Energies, Transformer Rectifier India, then Oriana Power, Shilcha Technology, TD Power, Vanova, Transrail and Techno Electric. And if you look at other names, it includes Gravita, Watkab, Radico Khaitan, Data Pattern, Polycab, Interglobe Aviation, Powermax and Noama. So that's it from my side. This was part 2. This talk that I discussed in part 1, please watch that video. Again, let me just clarify before I end this video. The idea is not to give you buy or sell tip. The idea is to identify companies that are growing at a fast rate where management is giving very good guidance for Fy26 so that you can deep dive further. Right? Understand the business model, understand the key risk as well, because risk understanding is very, very important. So just take an informed decision. Don't get carried away. Try to build a balanced portfolio. And yeah, that's it from my side. If you want me to discuss any specific company in detail, let me know in the comments. That's it. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care.